Two questions I get asked all the time are, why did you decide to move from Nigeria to Canada? And how did you do it? What were the steps you took? What was the process you embraced? Well, today I'm finally sharing our full relocation journey, step by step, with exact timelines from our preparation to landing in Canada. If you're planning to make that move, or you're just curious about the process, this video is for you. Grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's dive into my personal experience of moving from Nigeria to Canada. It all began in 2020 when my husband and I decided that it was time to move. It was time for something different. In case you missed the video on why we moved from Nigeria to Canada, this is the link up here, and I'm also going to leave the link in the description below. I shared 4 reasons why we made that move from Nigeria to Canada. Now let's dive into when the process began proper. So after making the decision that it was time to move, we decided to start reading about this process. What does it take to become a permanent resident? We didn't want to go as students. Our focus was to go as permanent residents. So we started studying the process, that's 2020. And finally, we decided to take action in November of 2020. My husband and I created our WES profile. So WES is World Education Services. That's a body that evaluates every document you have. If you're going into immigration process or you want to go abroad to study, you use their services. We submitted all our documents to WES in December. I submitted my BSc, postgraduate document, and my master's. And by January, my WES report was ready. So next step after WES evaluation was to write IELTS. Now, remember I told you we were not fully invested in this whole process yet because we were not sure if it was going to work. So I was just procrastinating on picking a date to write IELTS because we were not really fully into it yet. January and February passed, and by March, I decided that, okay, I just need to pick a date to write IELTS. So what I did was I selected a date 3 months ahead. I gave myself till June, so I selected June 12th to write my IELTS exam, and this was in March of 2021. So June 12th came, I went ahead to write my exam. 2 weeks later, my IELTS result was ready and it was good. At this point, we were still not sure about this thing we want to try, you know. During our preparation, we read the blog of Omobolanle Adeyemo that was sent to us by our dear family friend in Canada. Very nice blog. It outlined the step-by-step process to relocate to Canada. Very wonderful blog. We also got a lot of ideas from our amazing family in Canada. So all these was how we armed ourselves with information while we were on this process of relocation. And then 1st of July 2021, I officially got into the Express Entry pool. That was the day I created my Express Entry profile and got into the Express Entry pool. And this was when things started getting interesting. So after we got into the pool, we knew that once you are in the pool, the next step for you is to start looking for ways to boost your points in the Express Entry pool. There are several ways to boost your scores, your points, while in the Express Entry pool, but we were more interested in the Provincial nomination that gives the highest points. Now, I need to also mention that we have a family in Canada, and that gave us some points also in the pool. So when it was by the time we entered the pool, that was in July, we were now looking for ways to boost our points. That was when we decided to embrace the Saskatchewan immigration nominee program. Saskatchewan is a province that run provincial nomination, and you can apply when you go to their website. So, like play, oh, we applied for the provincial nominee program for Saskatchewan. And guess what? 2 weeks after, we got invitation to apply from Saskatchewan in July. You know what? We were not ready. It's like the thing at that point was still like a joke to us. So we were really not taking it serious. But when 2 weeks after we applied for the Saskatchewan immigration program, we received invitation to apply, our eyes opened. That was when we realized that, come on, this thing is not a joke. This thing is actually possible. Of course, we were not able to accept the invitation to apply. We did not reply to it, and we had till September to reply, but we didn't. So, September officially, the invitation to apply we got from Saskatchewan closed. Somehow that dampened our spirits, you know. So, at that point, I wasn't even checking my express entry pool. I already knew how much points I had in the pool, and I knew I needed to get some more points. Now, something happened that same September when the invitation to apply for Saskatchewan closed. Towards the end of September, unknown to me, one of the provinces in Canada that is not opened to provincial nomination, meaning you cannot apply to this province. They will be the one to invite you. They will check the express entry pool. If you have what they want, they will send you an invite into the express entry pool. This province had sent an invite to me in my express entry pool, but I didn't know. I didn't know that in the express entry pool, you can turn on communication. You know, over here, and they don't just wake up and start sending you text message and email anyhow. You have to give permission. So I didn't know that I didn't give the permission in my express entry pool to be receiving email notifications when I have a message. So 30th of September, the invite came for me in the express entry pool to apply for provincial nomination to this province, but I didn't know. I wasn't checking my express entry pool. September passed, October passed, then November. November, I was like, okay, at this point, let us give this Saskatchewan immigration nominee program another try. Let's create another profile this time and apply. Okay, so that now made me go into my express entry profile. I wanted to begin the Saskatchewan immigrant nomination program. Lo and behold, when I got into my express entry pool, I realized there was a new message waiting for me, and the message came since September the 30th. I opened the message. It was invitation to apply to a province that we actually desired. That was the province we wanted to apply to in the first place, but because they were not open to application, we didn't even look that way. Not knowing that, God, oh, this God is good, though. Not knowing that they had sent us invitation since September, and there was a timeline for that invitation to close. Hey God, when we saw it, at first we were like, geez, what is happening? This was what we wanted. The invite came. I was not checking. My communication mode was not activated. I didn't give permission, so I didn't know. So we were like, do we still have a chance for this profile? And then we spoke to one of our friends there in Canada, are very good family friends. They advised us to go ahead and write and accept the invitation and write to this province that we were interested in this application. So in November of 2021, we wrote an email to the province that sent this invite in September. Basically, we were indicating interest in their provincial nomination program. And within 48 hours after we sent the email, the province replied and gave us the go ahead to apply for the provincial nomination program. They gave us 60 days to submit all the required documents. So we used the whole of December to gather all the documents that the province had required. In January of 2022, we then went ahead to submit all the required documents to the province, and then the waiting continued. February passed, March passed, we did not get any updates. And the other option for Saskatchewan was no longer on the table because their own style had changed and they were now requesting for more documents that I didn't have. So Saskatchewan was no longer on the table. We were now depending on this very province that had given us the go ahead. So, no updates. I must say to people who are preparing to relocate that the wait is usually the hardest. At some point, you will want to give up. The wait is hard, okay? So we did not hear anything in February, we did not hear anything in March. In the month of April 2022, something happened in my area where we were staying in Jos, a security threat, something that now made it even more difficult to sleep with two eyes closed. I don't even want to think about it. Like, that's not an experience I want to remember. So, but this pushed us to go ahead and write another email to this province. We just wanted to get an update on our application to the province. So, 2 weeks after we wrote that email to the province, I remember clearly it was on the 25th of April, on my dad's birthday. That was one day before my husband's birthday. I received an international call. It so happened that it was the province that was calling me to have a phone interview with me just to verify who I was and to confirm that I have all the qualifications I claimed. So, at the end of the phone interview, I was asked to submit my pay stubs. This is just to further confirm that I was working as a medical laboratory scientist. The following day, which was my husband's birthday, I went ahead to submit the pay stubs as required. And on the 27th of April, a day after my husband's birthday, guess what? Provincial nomination. We got our provincial nomination. Oh, good. Recalling this brings a lot of memories. Remembering that day right now just makes me want to get up and dance. Like, we were overjoyed, we were excited. It was the moment of truth for us, a very beautiful one. We went ahead to the express entry poll to update our provincial nomination, and boom, there was a boost in scores. And then May, the following month of 2022, we got invitation to apply from IRCC through the express entry poll. So this was the first week of May. Towards the end of May, we submitted all requested documents, including medicals, police reports, proof of funds, West reports, and everything. And within 24 hours after we submitted these documents, we received our acknowledgement of receipt email. And this was just to verify that all the documents we submitted have been received. Then the waiting period continued. June, no updates. July, no updates. One thing I know about this process is you will experience waiting periods. But what to do at such times so that you don't pay too much attention to this and get discouraged is just face life. So we faced live, we were living live normally while waiting to get updates from IRCC. So by 19th of August, I remember very well, it was a Friday, we received an email requesting for our biometrics. And then Sunday, 2 days after we got the email, we traveled from Jos to Abuja. And then Monday, we had our biometrics done. That would be on the 22nd of August 2022. And surprisingly, while we were still in the biometrics office, we received an email from IRCC that they have received our biometrics. It was really fast. By the following day, August 23rd, we were ready for visa. We were ready for visa. Oh my God. Oh my God, this brings back so many memories. Like, 2022 was such a beautiful year. Like, things were just going. It was in 2022 we understood the saying that when it is time, it is time. If this thing is for you, it will happen for you. It was in 2022 that I came to really understand that saying. So, end of August 2022, we were declared ready for visa. That was when we submitted our passport. We sent our passport along with other documents as requested. And in September of 2022, we received our confirmation of permanent residence letter. The same month, we decided to book our flights for 4 months in advance. We went and booked flights for January of 2023. The reason is we knew there were pre-arrival programs that was going to really help us. And the shortest time it would take to finish the program is 3 months. So that was why we decided to book our flight in January so that we can have October, November, December to do the pre-arrival program. So the moment we booked the flight, we went ahead to enroll for the program. And then October, we began our pre-arrival program. It was wonderful. Like by the end of December of 2022, we felt like we were already in Canada, like we were ready to be in Canada because of the program. And then end of January, the final week of January, we took off from Abuja we used Qatar Air. We landed in Montreal. Montreal was our first point of entry into Canada. And from Montreal, after some hours of layover, we took Canada Air and flew into the city we really desired to be in. It was such a beautiful moment. See, those pre-arrival programs are incredibly helpful. Do not miss them. Do not skip them. They are free on the IRCC website. So if you're preparing to move to Canada, do not miss these programs. They help you to prepare for life in Canada. And when you arrive Canada, they connect you to post-arrival services that help you in settling in. Arriving Canada was such a surreal moment for us. Like after all the planning, the preparation, the prayers, we were finally here. Fast forward to today, we recently celebrated 2 years in Canada. I'm so grateful for how everything turned out. And if I'm going to give my own one coin advice to anybody who is planning to move, these are the 3 things I will tell you. 1, get informed. Coming to Canada without knowledge is a disaster waiting to happen. Knowledge is everything. 2, take advantage of the pre-arrival programs. They are free and you find them on the IRCC website. They make your transition much more smoother, trust me. And 3 is be ready for change. Moving to Canada is quite exciting but comes with its own challenges. Being prepared mentally and emotionally makes all the difference. So if you're planning to relocate, start now, plan well, and trust the process. Your journey will be unique, but with the right steps, you will be setting yourself up for success. And that's my full relocation story. If you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and leave a comment below with your questions. I'd like to help. Do not forget to tag people you feel would like this video. See you next time. Ciao.